Hi, welcome back to the program. Our guest this morning is an artist who is as much as home in Asia as he is in his country. But I've just been told, just before we get to that, I'm eager to show it because the painting's right there.
You have the artistic side of you.
I know, but first we have to announce.
But by the way, we had a great team of guests yesterday. They were called Impact, and they're a very well-known a cappella group. They do all the Motown, Earth, Wind and Fire, all that jazzy stuff. And we asked you a question. In order to win tickets, where are they based? The answer is actually A, Los Angeles. Right. And we want to thank all our viewers who participated in the contest, but regrettably, we could only pick 10 winners out of close to 1,400 people who wrote in.
And listen up, here are the winners: Noel Ong, Elsie Chu, Bahari Haron, Chu Ping Yao, Daniel Ong, Justin Roy Lin, Rashid Rahman, Nkiahi, and Lydia Lin. Well, congratulations to all of you. We will be in touch with you as to how you can pick up your tickets for the concert, which is happening this Sunday. The A Cappella Society will be in touch to tell you how to get your tickets.
Yeah, it certainly sounds like it's going to be a great concert this Sunday, and so good luck to all of you. And by the way, today our guest is an artist who is as much at home in Asia as in his home country of origin, Belgium, Jean-Francois Debongnie. And he left Asia some 17 years ago, but since then he's been producing fine paintings that combine techniques from the East and West.
In fact, I think he's been in Asia for almost 17 years, 15 years, thereabouts. Okay, we'll get to him in that in just a bit. And he's just opened a new exhibition in Singapore, Between Worlds. And this morning, a peek into the exhibition. We'll meet the people behind it, the artist himself, and Jazz Chong, director of the art gallery, Ode to Art.
All right.
Good morning, guys.
Good morning. Yeah.
So how long have you been in Asia, actually?
I've been about, first I came about 89. So
and then you left,
coming already about, I left for 1 year, then I came back again.
I see. So
and then let's talk about your artwork. What's interesting is that even you brought in a painting for us to appreciate, which is very nice. You were never professionally trained, but it was that passion and love that really got you to paint.
Yes,
right?
I always wanted to paint from a very early age. So I just started as a kid, you know, some drawings, some sketches, and then I move on to photography later on, and I keep on again with paintings, actually, yeah.
And we noticed that, for example, in this case, there are flowers, and that's a recurring motif in many of your works. Is there any reason why you sort of...
No, not really. I did a little sketch one day of a small flower, then I wake up the next morning and I wanted to add something to it.
Yeah.
Then I continue on, and it's been about 13 years now. Just on the flower subject.
And of course, we want to ask you what your piece of work actually means and what that really translates in the artistic world. But before we do that, I want to ask Jazz, so how are his works received by the people who drop into your gallery?
Generally, Jean-Francois' work has been very well received for a few reasons. It's the number one, relatability. If you look at through the ages, like from Monet to Van Gogh to Japanese block, you know, to Chinese artists, flower has always been a theme that a lot of people enjoy looking and enjoy painting. So people has enjoyed his art and relate well to the art.
And they're also very sort of easy images. I mean, they're easy on the eye. They're not certain types of art where I guess you need a bit more, I don't know. I mean, some people like it, some people don't.
Yeah, some pictures kind of scream at you and you kind of get offended. Can you tell us, I mean, we do notice a lot of the similar patterns in your artworks. Can you, Jean-Francois, can you explain to us what you were thinking of, or whether you were looking at something for this large piece of painting you brought in for us?
Well, actually, it's more like the development of one subject, because it's been so long I've been working on that. So the theme is always the same, but I add some new things. The flower at the start was very large flowers. For a few years I work. Sorry?
What kind of flowers?
It's flowers from my imagination. It's no particular flower. Yeah, and later on I move on. The flowers shrink a bit, and now we are reaching to some much more little flowers. The stand has been changing as well a bit. Before the ink was flowing more on the canvas. Now they're a bit more rigid. And of course I add much more color compared to the beginning.
Now we know you've traveled quite extensively in Asia, going to countries like Vietnam, Thailand, Malaysia. I mean, how do you find that has that influenced your work? I mean, how has being in Asia sort of affected the way you paint?
I always wanted to be in Asia from very young age. So already I got all my inspiration. Even I was not, being here. I don't know. I think I was like kind of dreaming of, I knew that one day I was going to come here. And when I finally got here, I was like, I say, wow, it's like so many things fantastic. Visit museums, many friends, artist friends of mine, explained to me the work they were doing. So I got quite a lot of influence with, you know, all those artists.
Right.
And Jazz, I'm just curious, I mean, as you run this gallery, what are some of the trends you've had over the years? Do you find that the kind of artwork that people buy, the perceptions have changed and the buying trends have changed?
Oh yes, number one, I think people are getting younger. The collectors are becoming younger, partly because we are more affluent, more well-traveled, more knowledgeable. And I think these days they are more focused on Chinese contemporary art or Asian contemporary art. Instead of, you know, many years ago, it's just Western and European art.
Is that what his art would be classified as? Asian contemporary art?
Yes, I would classify it as Asian contemporary art.
Meaning it has touches of, I guess, an Asian background.
Yeah, there's something very still about his art, very surreal, very dreamlike, and still very serene. I think very spiritual.
And you know, Jean-Francois, you've done a lot of photography as well. Do you think that maybe perhaps because of your photography experience, the way you look at things, might be, you may actually see something that the rest of us maybe perhaps do not, and you reflect that in your artistic expression?
I think so. I mean, especially in the black and white, because I love black and white photography. And I move on after a while from color paintings to black and white. And I think photography helped me a lot when I was doing my black and white series. Yes.
Now, we hear that you don't just paint with brushes, you do something droppers as well. As in, like, is that like the eye drop? It kind of drops
yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm working directly with the pipette, you know, out from the tube. I like actually the spontaneous, in a way, the drop fall on the canvas, and there is nothing much you can do about it. So actually, there's something, you know, that just happened, and which I quite like. Yeah.
And also Chinese ink. That's another medium you use in your paintings. Is that right?
Yes, yes. That again, I love so much, like traditional Chinese paintings. But the way it's done is always on paper, and the paper absorbs the ink rather than canvas, which is much more modern way to work.
Would that be the same kind of ink they use for Chinese calligraphy?
Yes, the same kind.
I see.
Yeah, but the nice way about it is when you look at the painting, the canvas is waterproof. So I'm always working, you know, flat. The canvas is flat on the floor, and it needs to evaporate. So it's kind of a nice way actually to work with the ink.
Okay.
And Jazz, when you first saw his artworks, what were your thoughts? How did you feel?
I love his artworks. I feel that there is something very spiritual about it, you know, and it's very engaging. Yeah,
and which ones are your favorites? Can you at least describe to us?
Actually, I prefer the black and whites.
Oh, you
black
like
and whites, okay. So, Jean-Francois, I mean, being in Asia for these last 15-odd years and looking at these paintings, do you think your work's going to change? Is this, I mean, have you found your flower in a way? Have you ever thought of painting something else? I don't know.
Well, I try because I'm using a lot of water when I paint. So I move on a water series a few years back, but I did only like about 20, 30 pieces of work. That's about it. But I think just with one subject I'm never tired of it. I'm doing one flower painting. I've got the ID for the next two. So,
I see.
Yeah.
And are you going to continue the flower series, or what is next for you?
Well, so far I think I still continue the flower series. I'm not done yet.
Is it all inspiration in your mind? So you actually do not have an object in front of you?
No, it's everything, you know, in my mind, and it comes
sounds
very
really
fast.
deep.
Well, I got the idea straight away when I got into it, and yeah.
All right. Well, thanks very much for coming this morning and for sharing
Thanks
with us. Good luck.
Thank you.
I mean, it's a beautiful painting, so we wish you all the best.
Thank you.
I already feel refreshed.
You feel
It'd
be nice to have one of those. Yeah, just,
Well, you should drop by an exhibition.
just leave it behind. I'll just keep it as a souvenir.
You can always drop into their art gallery. Well, we've been speaking to Belgian-born artist Jean-Francois Debongnie and Jazz Chung on a new exhibition featuring Debongnie's artworks.
And the exhibition, entitled Between Worlds, is now on at the Ode to Art Gallery in Raffles City. You can look at it also on their website. That's odetoart.com for more details.
All right, it looks like our time is already up for all of us here at Primetime Morning. And I always say all of us because we have a huge team behind us. People always ask, so is it just you? And
yeah, there are a whole bunch of guys out there making the show happen. So on behalf of all of us, it's good to have your company. And lots to do this weekend. You can either catch a movie, that's James Bond, there's Happy Feet, there's the art exhibition. There's so much to do.
Impact,
that's right.
Acapella group too.
Otherwise, you can just stay home and watch Primetime Morning, the lighter side. See?
All right. Well, we have everything worked out for you this weekend, so hope you have a great one. From Steve and myself, we're signing off for now, and take care.
Have a good one. Bye-bye.